Everyone, and thank you for tuning into Vidiot Entertainment Studios for this episode of Vidiot Movie Reviews. My name, as always, is Elijah, aka Hajio Saunak, aka the Nerdlust Daddy, and today we're going to continue our review series covering every North American theatrically released live-action video game adaptation. And today's episode posed a challenge to me as I'd never played the game nor seen the film before, so this one took a bit of extra research to gain some proper understanding of the two in order to make a comparison. Anyhoosers, let's dive into this thing. We're going to be reviewing the 1999 film Wing Commander. You ready, Pids?
Yeah!
Wing Commander was released in theaters on March 12, 1999. At this time, 10 games had been released in the series. Wing Commander 2 Vengeance of the Kilrathi, Wing Commander Academy, Wing Commander Privateer, Wing Commander 3 Heart of the Tiger, Wing Commander Armada, Super Wing Commander, which is an upgraded special edition of the original, Wing Commander 4 The Price of Freedom, Privateer 2 The Darkening, and Wing Commander Prophecy. We're going to ignore Wing Commander Academy, Wing Commander Privateer, Wing Commander Armada, and Privateer 2 The Darkening, as those are spin-off games. We're also going to overlook Wing Commander Prophecy, as that game takes place after the conflict with the Kilrathi seems to have been resolved. So that leaves us with Wing Commander 1 through 4 for comparison. Now, the plot in the games takes place within the 27th century, and it involves a war between Earth and the Kilrathi Empire, referred to as the Terran-Kilrathi War. The Kilrathi are a bipedal feline race who are imperialists, and what they do is they expand their power and influence by conquering and subjugating other races and worlds. The focus on the Terran forces usually involves the efforts of members of the TCS Tiger's Claw. Here in the film, we have the same plot as well, depicting the war between Earth and the Kilrathi Empire. We do follow along with the members of the TCS Tiger's Claw, only for some reason they drop the S from Tigers. The plot specifically involves trying to get a secret message to Earth that will warn them of an impending Kilrathi attack and reveal the exact location that they will be space jumping to so that the Terran forces can ambush them. It's hard to argue against plot accuracy here, as interestingly enough, this film was directed and the story created by the creator of the Wing Commander games, Chris Roberts. So this gets a hawoo from me. What did you think about the plot?
Hawoo!
Now, for our setting and world representation within the games, that took place within space, and it involved flight simulation depicting space battles between fighters and capital-class ships, and sometimes there were attack runs on specific Kilrathi targets like installations or secret weapons. Here in the film, it's pretty much the same. We get what seems to be accurate representation of the fighters and the capital-class ships, as well as the uniforms. And we definitely get space battles between the Terrans and the Kilrathi. Again, this film is literally directed by the creator of the Wing Commander series, and it's considered canon, so no fault here really. This gets a hawoo from me. Pids, how did you feel about it?
Hawoo!
For our characters, there's a lot of characters within this movie, so we're going to just focus on some of the main ones from the game series and the film. Also, considering the games were known for having big-name actors in their main character roles, I think this focus is best as well for our purposes here. First, let's start with the Kilrathi. As mentioned before, these are the antagonists of the series. They're bipedal, cat-like humanoids who are imperialists that take over other worlds to expand their empire. Representation in regards to their actions is accurate here in the films, though we get little screen time with the actual Kilrathi. What we do get to see of them seems to show us there's a significant difference in looks. They appear nothing like their feline or lion-like look from the games. They look more like hairless weasels. So I think this is a bit of a drop ball here, and they get a chit futter from me. Pids, thoughts on the Kilrathi?
Chit futter.
Next we have Admiral Geoffrey Tolwyn. Originally portrayed in the games by Malcolm McDowell, he's portrayed in the film by David Warner, as Malcolm McDowell was not available at the time. Now, some of you may remember Warner from the Star Trek franchise, specifically his role in the TNG episode Chain of Command as Gul Madred. A fantastic actor in his own right, he brings it here as Tolwyn. The performance is solid and believable as an admiral within the Terran forces, and so I can definitely give him a hawoo here. Pids, did you enjoy the performance?
Hawoo!
Commander Paul Gerald. Now, this character appears to have been introduced in the film. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I found no reference to him having appeared within the games at this time here. In the film, though, he is played by Jürgen Prochnow, who you may recognize from his roles in the original Dune film, Beverly Hills Cop 2, or more recently, The Da Vinci Code. And here he brings a good performance as Gerald. He is believable in his performance as a commanding officer and exudes authority. I can definitely give this character a hawoo as well. Pids, your thoughts on Gerald?
Hawoo!
Captain Jason J. Sansky. Here we have another character that appears to have been introduced in the film, and this is played by David Suchet. Now, the volume of his work appears to have been done in Britain, but you may recognize him if you've ever seen the 1986 film Iron Eagle. He does an admirable job of portraying Sansky here, but he never really stood out to me, perhaps because I'm not as familiar with him as some of the other actors, but he does give a passable performance as a captain within the Terran forces. So, Pids, your thoughts?
Hawoo!
Commander James Paladin Taggart. In the games, this character was portrayed by John Rhys Davies, perhaps best known for his role in the 90s sci-fi TV series Sliders, or more recently as Gimli in the Lord of the Rings films. In the film, Checky Cario takes the reins, and you may recognize him from his role in the original Bad Boys movie. Here, he brings a strong and believable performance as Taggart. He's very strict, yet reveals a passionate side here and there towards our main protagonist because of a past that they share. Also, very good in the performance in regards to the portrayal. It comes off very strong, and I can definitely give him a hawoo for sure. Kids, your opinion of his portrayal?
Hawoo!
Lieutenant Commander Jeanette Angel Devereaux, portrayed by Yolanda Gillot in the games. She is the by-the-books wing commander of the Tiger Claw who becomes romantically involved with Christopher Blair. Here in the film, she's portrayed by Saffron Burrows, who you may remember and recognize from the movie Deep Blue Sea. The portrayal here seems accurate, as in the film, she's hard-nosed and demands that things be done by the books and won't tolerate anything less that might risk her squadmates' lives. She also does get a small romantic arc that starts up with Blair by the end of the movie. And I did find the performance to be believable and enjoyed the screen time with her, so she gets a hawoo. Pids, what about you?
Hawoo!
First Lieutenant Todd Maniac Marshall. In the games, he was portrayed by none other than Thomas F. Wilson, who played Biff in the Back to the Future films. He's the hotshot, risk-taking pilot and best friend of Blair. Here in the film, he's portrayed by Matthew Lillard of Scream and Scooby-Doo fame. Now, Lillard is fantastic as Marshall and definitely brings his full-on Matthew Lillardness to the table with a cocky, risk-taking, and manic attitude that we typically see from Lillard in his portrayals. He's definitely a reason to watch this film, and if you're a fan of his, you should check this movie out. He gets a solid hawoo from me. Pids, your thoughts on him?
Hawoo!
First Lieutenant Christopher Maverick Blair. Now, the games place the portrayal of this character in the hands of the iconic Mark Hamill. He's the level-headed and calm ace fighter pilot assigned to the Tiger's Claw. The film has him portrayed by Freddie Prinze Jr., who you'll recognize from such films as She's All That, and of course, the Scooby-Doo films. He plays very well off of Matthew Lillard's performance, as always, and is believable as the calm and cool Blair. I can certainly give him a hawoo here. Pids, what did you think of Blair?
Hawoo!
Alright, so our final verdict. What do we think about this one overall? As I said, I wasn't too familiar with the game series, so I had to dig and do some research on this. So the bulk of our judgment will come from that information and mostly from the film experience. But as I mentioned previously, this film was directed by the creator of Wing Commander, and it's considered canon, so it's hard to find too much fault with any accurate representation. So the final verdict will be mostly based on the film's entertainment value alone. Pids, what did you think about Wing Commander?
Hawoo! It's Ote's popcorn movie.
I concur. The film isn't terrible, and it can be an entertaining popcorn flick to pass the time. It's a bit better than a made-for-sci-fi movie. I'd also say that if you're a fan of Freddie Prinze Jr. or especially Matthew Lillard, you should check this one out to pass some time on a free evening. I think I can give this one 6 C's out of 10 C's for sure. No need to rush out and watch it here, but there is some entertainment value to be had. I want to thank you all for tuning into Vidiot Entertainment Studios for this episode of Vidiot Movie Reviews. My My name, of course, as always, is Elijah, aka Hajil Saunek, aka Nerdlust Daddy, as always reminding you to not be chit futters to each other. Body autonomy for everyone, and peace, love, and happiness to all. Say goodbye, Pids.
Goodbye, Pids.